963-9038. It's Tradio. It's Tiger Trade on WPKY The Tiger, Saturday, 8 a.m., 963-9038.
And good Friday morning to you out there, and welcome to Tiger Sports Talk with DT and Gator. We're live here in the studio at WPKY 103.3 FM. This is Regional Finals Friday here in Kentucky High School football.
Gridiron Glories teams are going down, aren't they?
They are. They're being eliminated. More and more are being eliminated from week to week.
I used to watch that every Friday night when I get home. I enjoyed that. Now there's not very many games to watch.
Not many in the area, and you know, we're going to talk about some of the games that are going to be played tonight here in Western Kentucky. And, of course, with this being an odd number year, if you win and you're a higher seed, you play at home. So that's home field advantage is very critical at this time of the year. And thankfully, the Caldwell County Tigers will be taking on the Elizabethtown Panthers tonight at 7 p.m. here at Tiger Stadium. And, of course, once again, we want to encourage all of our listeners and viewers out there to come on out. It's going to be another perfect football night here in West Kentucky.
It's going to be beautiful tonight. Last night would have been a lot worse than tonight as far as weather went, coldness. I think it's going to be up in the 50s, isn't it?
I think at game time it's around 58 degrees. So, you know, you'll have a little light jacket. But
golfing weather.
A little bit different than last Friday night. It was a little bit cool last Friday night, but tonight's going to be perfect weather. And like we mentioned, our Caldwell County Tigers sitting here at 10-2 are taking on the Elizabethtown Panthers, who are 11-1. Two teams that are pretty evenly matched on paper, and you know, with common opponents. LaRue County, I think, just by looking at the scores, we both beat them by about the same amount. And of course, let's talk a little bit about last week's victory over LaRue County, and it was a big win for the Tigers.
It's a real big win for the Tigers. I thought we showed well. They had a team similar like we were talking earlier, but to Paducah Tillman, they ran the ball a lot. But, you know, the little boy they had could throw the ball too as well. They had a few good receivers. Their team was a good-looking team. You know, they had size, they had speed. You know, I thought they were a real good test for us, and luckily we came out of it. We showed them we could play football, throwing and running the football. I thought Jameer turned around again and played hard. He ran the ball hard. Sometimes he goes east and west too much, but still a lot of times he gets out around the corner or around the tackle, and he's moving north and south. But other than that, I thought our receivers, you know, did well again. Joby threw the ball well again.
What about Oliver Parker? What a weapon he is.
Oliver is a player now. He can go. We're gonna have to find a spot on him on the other side of the ball next year.
You know, Oliver raised up that one time, and he's got a good arm on him.
Yes,
he looks like you know, he could, if we ever get in a situation and need a quarterback in a backup role, it looks like Oliver could step in there and do that. He's just a great athlete. He's a good athlete, and of course I know his mom and dad were both great athletes and in their time. So you know, it's good to see all those kids gelling together. And we did receive an injury there, and I think we've got Coach David Barnes with us here live in the studio. And David, tell us the progress of Travis Newsom.
Travis, his first day back to school was yesterday, so he's having some complications from. He took a blow to the back of the head in that game for Friday night, and he won't be able to play tonight. And you know, if we're fortunate enough to win tonight, he'll be out for next week.
That was one of the deals where that play, there wasn't even a penalty on that play, was there?
No, they didn't call anything, and you know, it's a true definition of a defensive player. Or spearing. I mean, he hit him with the crown of his helmet at the back of our helmet, and the guy said he didn't hit him. I said,
and we're
it looked like a pretty vicious hit from where I was sitting.
I sent the video to Julian, which I haven't heard anything back from him, but I did send it to State.
Well, one thing that you did mention to us before we went on the air this morning, from here on out, I think we're going to have 7 officials.
Yeah,
tell us the reasoning behind the 7 officials?
I think the 7 officials came about because of as many teams throwing the football now, and for better coverage. With us doing the run pass stuff, sometimes you get linemen downfield. Not that we ever get him downfield illegally, but it's hard for 5 guys to see that, and which is good for us sometimes. But they're saying that the 7-man crew helps in that, and helps in seeing the receivers come off the ball. We've had one game where we had 7 this year when we played at Union County. We had a 7-man crew down there. But from the 3rd round on, it's all 7-man crews.
If they keep getting officials, we're going to have to start running picks off of them.
That's right.
They keep staying around out there in the way. You can run some curls in the middle and bump off that middle line. Linebacker, he get in the way.
We don't run the mesh play much anymore, but if we did, that umpire would be a good guy to run. So he's right in the way when you run mesh.
Well, we got to tell this story. What was the guy's name from Crittenden County sent them official? Oh, you remember that? In basketball. Oh, yeah, you do. They called timeout, and they were getting killed.
Joe McCord.
Yeah, Joe McCord.
I'll never forget that. Yeah, Joe McCord was the girls' basketball coach at Crittenden County. During one of the games, the officials were bad.
Yeah.
Were bad. And, of course, he called timeout there late in the game, and he told his girls during the timeout, I want you to guard the person who's killing us the most. And they went out there and surrounded the official.
Yeah, they double teamed that one official. They just kept guarding him.
That was hilarious. Man, that was a long time ago. That was back in the 80s, I guess, late 80s.
I thought that was pretty good.
Early 80s. And Joe was a card man.
They asked him after the game, asked those girls, what y'all doing over there? And they said, well, he told us to guard the guy that was killing us the most. And we went over and got him.
Oh, Lord. Of course, a lot of people look at it from that standpoint. It just gives one more official to throw his flag more.
Yeah.
But, there were a lot of penalties last weekend in our game. And, you normally don't see as many illegal procedure calls as you this time of the year.
But with both sides, family members and this and that and other, there was a lot of tension. There was a lot of tension out there. And it was each team had their own say and this and that and the other, so it was different.
Coach Barnes, what can you tell us about Elizabethtown? I know they've got a fine football team.
First of all, they got a really good football coach in Mark Brown. Mark Brown's been in it a long time, and he was at Nelson County in '96 when they won the state championship in 4A, running the wing T, and he then went to John Harden and was very successful at John Harden, and he took the E-Town job, and he's got a football team pretty much almost identical to last year's. They lost a few kids off of that team, but they returned the number 14, the Berecker kid, which is as good a football player we played against all year long.
And what positions he play?
He plays running back. He plays receiver.
About anywhere, huh?
He plays safety. He's a punt returner, kick returner. And the kid can, he runs. He's not big. He's a 165-pound kid, but he's a football player. And he's got a brother that's a sophomore that starts at inside linebacker, much like him. And their quarterback is the same quarterback they had last year, and he's improved a lot. The thing that makes him different than say that, had we been playing Tillman tonight, Tillman really doesn't throw the ball much. E-Town does a good job of running and throwing the football, which makes it a different story for you. They'll get in the shotgun and they'll run wing T out of the shotgun, and they're going to run the buck sweep and they're going to run the waggle, all that out of the shotgun, and then they come out and over spread you, getting trips and running regular spread offense stuff. So they're a very good offensive football team. Defensively, they're going to line up 4-man front, but they lost 2 kids off their front, or actually 3 off last year's team. 2 of them gave us fits, so they're not on the field tonight, which that's good. I don't think they're good up front, but not like they were last year. I like our matchup. I feel like if our kids come out ready to play and, they know by watching film that, we showed them last year's film. We played them up here 2 years ago, got beat on the Hail Mary pass. A lot of those kids, the 2 defensive backs that were back there on that deal, they were freshmen, and they're on this football team still, and they all remember that. So we're looking forward to tonight.
Well, this is the 3rd year in a row that we've played Elizabethtown in the regional finals.
And if you go back before that, it was Murray High. So
it was Murray, that's right, in Class 2A.
Yeah.
So this is, I think, the 6th year in a row that Caldwell County has made it to the regional finals, and just what an outstanding accomplishment that is.
It's amazing. I tell you, any fan that wants to know why we don't win this or win that, how many schools around here can say that? They're
not very many, and you got to be blessed, and the ball's got to bounce your way a lot of times, but I tell you, we've earned our way through there, and we've had our hard knocks, but there's a lot of schools sitting at home watching, and we're still playing.
Exactly.
That's a tribute to the kids that have come through our program. We've had great kids, not just some good football players, but some good quality kids, and that's a testament to them and what they bring to the table. And we're very fortunate to have players like that. And the thing that people don't understand too, and they don't think about unless you're a football coach, if you finish up your season in regular season, that was 3 weeks ago. We've had 15 practices. I mean, that's 15 more practices our young kids get.
Exactly.
That those teams aren't getting, and you've done that for 6 years. That's a lot of practices you get with your younger players. So there's also some benefits other than just getting to be in the championship game tonight.
And that's a lot of dedication, not only to them but the parents. This time of year and in this county, I never was a hunter or a fisher or any of that. But man, most of these people around here, that's what they look forward to.
I mean,
teams. Like Ben Van Hooser, it takes a week or two off on vacation just to do that. Yeah. And I'm sure he'd love to have his own kids with him.
Right.
Except on the weekends. Yeah. But I mean,
and most of your football team has probably been out hunting this week.
Yep, most of them.
Yeah, that's good. Coaches, everybody seem outside of Travis, we mentioned, everybody else seems to be suited up and ready to go tonight.
Caleb Burton, he tweaked his hamstring a little bit, so we held off him in practice. He looked good yesterday in practice, so he'll be ready to roll. We should be in good shape.
All those kids have done a good job to stay healthy. I tell you what, with the schedule we've played now, you can say what you want. A lot of times you get hurt when you play a team that you're lax on, but doggone it, when you play a team that's going to pound you in the mouth every play, we had a pretty good schedule to go through this year.
We have. We've had a very demanding schedule, and, it's one that's prepared us for this point in time. So, the better quality, and we're going to be talking to a couple coaches here in a few minutes that were in the same situation and playing a tough early season schedule, and they're still playing right now. So, it pays off playing good quality opponents earlier in the season, and we've played like we mentioned, a very demanding schedule. Anything else?
As far as our game goes, no, let's just go ahead and take us a short break.
We're going to take a short break.
We'll throw a Coach G on them and talk about what we're going to do.
Yeah. We're going to take a short break here, and we're going to talk to a couple coaches here in the area that's got some very important football games tonight. You're listening to Tiger Sports Talk on 103.3 FM, The Tiger.
You do know what you watch.
It's that time of year again. Soon leaves will be falling. Football and deer season is right around the corner. When those little critters get stirring around, sometimes our vehicles get in their way. When that happens, Trice Incorporated hopes you remember our body shop to get you back on the road. We offer free estimates, 3-stage paint process that is guaranteed as long as you own your vehicle, and certified technicians that together offer 120 years of combined experience. We keep rental vehicles readily available, so even if your car is out of commission, you don't have to be. Trice Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. Trice in Princeton would like to give a big shout out to one of our own, Jeff McDowell. Jeff has given Trice Hughes 34 years as one of our top service technicians, and General Motors thinks so also, as they selected Jeff in the top 20 service technicians out of over 7,000 in the Southeast region. We are so proud of you, Jeff. The extra time and dedication it takes to achieve this honor speaks volumes about him. Trice Hughes Incorporated offers top-notch service on all your GM and Chrysler vehicles by certified technicians Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Call 270-365-5522 for your appointment today. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. New car buyers, listen up. We need to move our new car and truck inventory fast, and we need your trade. At Trice Hughes Incorporated, we know the dollar is tight, but there's never been a better time to buy a new vehicle. With fantastic rebates, low rates, awesome trade allowance, and 7 American car lines to choose from, Trice Hughes Incorporated is sure to fit you with the perfect vehicle at a price that's pleasing. And as always, if we don't have what you want on our lot, we'll find it for you. Don't go out of town for a good deal. Stay in town for a great deal. Trice Hughes Incorporated, where your trade is worth more.
Back here at Tiger Sports Talk at 103.3 FM, The Tiger. We've got with us here in the studio Coach David Barnes, DT, and myself. And Dennis, I think you've got a special announcement.
Yeah, I better say something here before I let it go. Craig will appreciate this. He was my best man at my wedding. So anyway, today is Janie's birthday. And so want to wish her a happy birthday. She stayed with me this long, and I guess she's still at home when I get there. I don't know. You never know.
She turns 39 today.
Yeah, 39 or 40. I can't remember. Kind of like me and you.
You're right.
Anyway, I do want to wish her a happy birthday.
Well, we want to
Maybe she'll win the sheet cake. That's what I'm looking for.
There you go. We want to wish her a very special day. We've got with us here on the phone Coach Craig Clayton, the head football coach at Hopkinsville High School. We had Craig on earlier in the season, and Craig, welcome to the show again.
Well, man, it's great to be with the DT Gator.
We knew you'd be doing backflips, old buddy.
I bet you got up probably about 5 this morning waiting for this call.
About 5:30. Yeah,
about 5:30. Craig, congratulations on making it to the regional finals. And if we'd have said this probably 5 weeks ago, you probably wouldn't have believed you'd been here.
You're right.
You probably would have believed it. We might not have believed it.
Well, you did. You did mention to us that you thought once you got into your district play that you had a good chance of winning some games. And you know, you've won 5 games in a row. You were sitting at 1-6.
Yes.
And you've won 5 straight. Tell us how you've done it.
Well, I think we just gotten older and more of a trooper. We started a year. We had 2 kids that even started in the game before. They were both on defense, nobody on offense. There's no substitute for experience. We had some good athletes, but not many good football players. And as you know, a good football player is somebody that's knows where he's supposed to go and understands the concept of his role and plays fast. And there's athletes today on a lot of these teams, but they never become players because they never get into the team concept. So our kids now become players, and we're making plays that we didn't make earlier in the year. We're picking up blocking assignments better, tackling well. I think our defensive front's playing really well right now, and it's just kind of all matured at one time. We're playing with a lot of confidence, and the quarterback's playing really well, the sophomore, Jay Bland. And, we don't have much of a running attack. I think we're averaging like 80 yards a game maybe, but we're going to have to throw it tonight to beat Franklin. But we're just happy to be in this position. I wouldn't give us much of a chance earlier, but this is a team that's never given up on itself. The kids have bought into what we're doing, and they never gave up. And they got criticized good within the school, and people were telling them they're no good and within our community, and they've just been very resilient and very, very proud of this group of kids.
They can go out and throw it on them now, can't they? They can tell them how good they are. That's the good thing. You made the good point though, Craig. The one I really like is you can have all the talent you want, but if they don't want to be friends and play together, it really doesn't work, does it?
No, it doesn't. I see a lot of kids. A lot of coaches sometimes will take the great athletes and cater to them and let them get away with stuff, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work, and you can have a great athlete on your team, but if he has a pitiful attitude and doesn't want to do what's supposed to be done, he's just going to remain an athlete and never a player and a football player. And I'd rather take kids with less talent that want to be players than the great athletes who don't. And that's a hard lesson to learn. I've learned it through the years. But this team is really a good team right now. They like each other, and we have great chemistry. And it's really been one of the better years for me to coach as a group of kids. Just no problems whatsoever, and they don't quit. So, I've just been really happy with the way they've played this year.
Well, Craig, I know you had to overcome a tremendous amount of adversity. You lost one of your better players earlier, about mid-season, I believe. And tell us what kind of impact that's had on you and as your team as a whole.
Yeah, E.J. Austin, who was a freshman safety for us, and actually was probably our best defensive player at that time. He was coming off 2 great games and going to be a great player, great kid, really good student. Just had a tragic accident and gun accident and died. And you know, all the years I've coached, I really never had to deal with anything like that. You know, no accidents as such. You know, with my current players, of course, but it was hard. It was very hard. I kind of took the approach that we need to get back into practice as soon as possible, get these kids back in focus just to get their mind off of a lot of things. And sometimes you can dwell on what just happened to the point where it becomes a constant in your life. And so I try to get their minds out of it. So we went right back to practicing like we did. And we had a week there with the funeral was on the next weekend after he died. And so we had a week. It was different. You know, I really can't explain it, but the kids have, I don't know if they dedicated the season, TJ, but I just know they picked it up. But it also happened at a time when we were getting better. So it's kind of a perfect storm kind of thing. We were getting better, and then when this happened, it's kind of like everything accelerated with us. And, you know, we haven't lost a game since, and they really kind of dominated, you know, for the last 5 weeks.
Craig, is there been one game here in this stretch here that you feel like it's really turned the tide for your team to, you know, where your players have gained a tremendous amount of confidence?
Well, I think, you know, we beat Callaway and Central Hopkins, which aren't good teams. We beat them like we were supposed to. But Greenwood, we played the last week of the year, and their quarterback had rushed for 300 yards against Highlands the week before. And, you know, last week they were headed Bowling Green at the half. And a team that was kind of, they were like 500 team, but they've lost to some good teams and always moved the ball. And we beat them 31-6, and the only score they had was on a kickoff return, and we rushed for over 200 yards, which we normally don't do, and just dominated the game and kept the quarterback. You know, when you keep Greenwood from scoring an offensive touchdown, you've really done something. I think that was a really, really big confidence booster. And then we go to Warren East, and, you know, they're a really good defensive team, and we dominate them pretty good. They scored late to, you know, we beat them 21-7. They scored late. And then last week against Logan County, you know, they beat us 13-12 the last play of the game, and we had them 43-0 with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. And so we've just gotten on a run and, you know, just making a lot of big plays offensively and playing great defense.
I don't know about how this question's going to go, but as far as when you came back, you know, you're not in the school building now. Is it tough to learn your kids without being with them all day long, or, you know, is
yeah, it is. It's different. Well, I used to be able to work the hallways to get players.
Right,
you know,
exactly. That's what I know you always did.
Yeah, and, you know, I would go after everybody, you know, whatever sport they're in. But that's been the biggest difference, not working in the hallways. But,
Right.
you know, I have 3 or 4 coaches in the building, which they're doing it now. But that's probably the biggest drawback, because really I didn't see my kids that much in school that
Yeah,
played for me.
right.
I see them probably more now because we have weightlifting 7th period, and they're all in there. So I go, you know, I'm always over talking to them during that period of the day, and
Right.
and or you know, communication. And but yeah, probably the recruiting of players within the hallways is probably the biggest difference.
Right. Well, and you were in the classroom, like Gator and I were in the guidance office, so if we really wanted to slip out and go find somebody, we could go talk to them easier than you could. So, you
Right.
know, so I see what you're saying.
Right.
You've got Dustin Lopez in the building, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
That's all you need right there. I'll guarantee you he's shaking the halls, you know.
Oh yeah, he's working it.
While you and Curtis are out playing golf. Or fixing. Now you're getting ready to do a little hunting, I guess. But
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I
What-
haven't played much golf lately, but yes, I'm not a cold weather guy in the golf.
There you go.
Me either.
Yeah, speaking of Dustin, he has really turned into a really good football coach. You know, he came down with me 6 years ago, and my last year at Franklin in Tennessee, and the last 5 at Hillsborough now. I tell you, another thing that's really helped us, our coaching staff. You know, I had Curtis Higgins and then Lopez and Adam Dolan, who was defense coordinator at McCracken County, is with us now, and other guys. I had Coach Self. And when you your first year, you got to bring everybody together. It takes a while for the coaching staff to gel too, and I think we've done a better job coaching the last few weeks as well. So I think it's just everybody's kind of got their act together, so to speak, in the last few weeks, and just playing with a lot of confidence, right now, and we don't mind going on the road. The biggest drawback I've seen is the support that was there before I left, and now it's just not there from the community and the students. And we take as big a crowd on the road as we do at home right now, and so our kids don't mind traveling because there's not that many people at our home doing games right now. And we hope to change that culture in the next few years.
Craig, what can you tell us about Franklin Simpson? I know they played last year in the state championship team, and they've got a lot of returning seniors. I think they had on the roster, did you mention around 24 or 25 seniors on the roster?
Yeah,
so
quite a few.
They're a very experienced team. What can you tell us?
Well, I tell you, their front seven on defense is very active, very good against the run. We're going to have to throw the ball. The last 5 weeks we've been averaging like 10 to 12 passes a game and averaging like 20, 25 yards of completion and, just kind of big playing people and running the football and playing good D. But I think we're going to probably have to throw more, maybe in the range 20, 25 times if we're going to win. It's just going to be hard to run on them. But I think we can throw on their secondary. I think that's probably the worst part of their defense is their secondary probably. On the other side of the ball, they just line up. It looks like the offense we ran at Caldwell County when I was in high school. It's not, the wing T is today's a lot of motion, misdirection, but this one's just the old, getting the far near look and a little bit of eye, and they're running belly and ISO and short trap and kind of stuff we ran years ago, and so it's a little different, but it's very effective what they do with it. They got a tailback that's averaging like 16 yards a carry, and they got a big fullback that runs it there and another kid, and so they just line up and try to run over you and be physical. So I think really it's going to come down to they depend on a big play out of the running back, but which team makes the big plays, the 30-yard touchdowns where they're throwing or running, I think that's probably going to be the winner of the game tonight. So both of us been playing great defense, and I think over the last 7 games they've been giving up 5 points a game. We've been giving up like 5 or 6, so something's got to give tonight. So I hopefully we want to try to get off to a fast start. We're going to be very aggressive early and go after them and take our chances like that.
Sounds like special teams might play a big part in this game.
Yes, yep, you're right. We worked very hard on it this week. So, yeah, they blocked 2 or 3 punts last week. So, I think that's the one thing we're most concerned about is the punt game.
Well, maybe you won't have to punt.
We hadn't been doing much of that lately.
Good deal.
Hey, your quarterback has really improved the development of him, and tell us, is Curtis Pulley still helping you? Is he?
Yeah, Curtis is helping, and Jay's get better. His 2 worst games were our 2 district games with Massville and Hop Central the first time, and that was his 2 worst games of the year. His best game actually was against Caldwell County. Threw for like 340 or something like that, but we threw it 34 times, I think, that game. So, he's really improved. He reminds me a lot of Deontay Kenner. We talked about this before, kid that played for us in the late 90s and broke all the passing records at Cincinnati for a few years there, and he reminds me a lot of him at that age. I think he's probably a little bit farther along than Deontay was at that age. So he's the key tonight. I mean, we've got to go out and complete 50 or 60% of our passes. If we don't, the clock stops, and if they end up running 60 plays in the game, we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, that's been great, though, that you've been able to personally work with this kid for the whole year as a sophomore. Jalen
Johnson, who did the basketball route, which is back at Hopkinsville now.
I can't believe that.
That's what I heard.
How can he be eligible to play?
Well, I don't know. I don't think they played a game, and I don't know.
Gator's going to stir the pot on the radio.
I don't know.
But anyway, it is a good thing, because if he'd have been there and he would have tried to play and all, he might have been playing all year, and it's still next year you'd have to start all over. So,
Well, actually, if he stayed, he was going to play receiver for me.
Is that right?
This more than him, yeah. I thought he threw for 3,000. I think Jalen was probably a Division I receiver in the long run.
Right.
The time he worked for us, with us, I think his upside personally higher in football than it was in basketball, or is in basketball. So.
And he had an offer in football, right? With
to
Murray State. I thought there's a quarterback. So
I think it's where you're leaning for basketball right now.
Since he's back, is he eligible to play for you tonight?
Probably would be. But not we talk about that chemistry thing. Anytime you can mess something up or put somebody in,
yeah, that's right.
Right now, I wouldn't care who moved in right now. I wouldn't play him.
Oh,
so,
I hear you.
Yeah.
Unless he was really good. I know you would if he's really good.
real good. And a running back.
There you go.
Well, we know you got a very young team, and all this is gaining experience for years to come for your program. And I think you mentioned your offensive line. You got one senior on it, and
right.
You're starting a few freshmen, aren't you?
We started one all year at offensive guard.
Fletcher Long's okay.
Fletcher Long's son, and we got two freshman receivers that are playing now. Maurice Jesse and Lane Rushing, both of them going to be really, really good receivers next year for us. And we've been playing some of those kids over the last 5 weeks, and had a good freshman class. Really, all our freshmen didn't play on the freshman team because they were playing on the varsity team in JV. So, but good class. And then we got the 3 kids that had ACLs are all coming back next year. We had a Dillard kid who was a running back. He was the preseason player of the year in our conference, our district this year, and he got hurt in the last scrimmage against the Kraken. So he was done for the year. That's really hurt us more than anything, is because we don't have a true running back right now, and he was very good. Very good.
So you got a lot of kids coming, numbers-wise, as far as middle school and
Yeah, we do. Our numbers are down a little bit. We only dressed about 40.
I know you didn't have a lot for your class, but
yeah.
Still, if you got 11 that can play, doesn't matter.
Well, I only see about 2 won't be a player, so 2 or 3 that I think the rest of them got a chance to be good players. So sometimes you can have 80 and not have 12 that are any good.
Exactly.
So I did that at Franklin down in Tennessee a little bit. We had 85 every year, 90, and lucky to find 30 that could play. So that was the big thing. So
well, as long as they stay together, like you said, that's the key. That's a big deal.
It is. They just got to keep buying into what we're doing and believe in themselves and what we're doing, and I think we'll be fine next few years.
Craig, I got one final question for you. How's our old buddy Steve Lovelace doing over at Christian County? I know he was sitting there at 11-0. He ran up against a very good football team, and how's he taking it? Is he taking it in stride pretty well?
Well, I think he struggled a little bit, because it's hard to go 11-0 and then get beat. I've done that, 12-0 and all that kind of stuff, and I think the way they got beat, I think they were up 3 points midway through the third quarter and had South Warren in like 3rd and 24, and they hit an 89-yard touchdown pass on them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they threw 2 or 3 interceptions inside the red zone down there, inside the end zone, really. And I think the way they got beat, I think his kids played hard, but they felt like they had a shot to win and didn't, pull it off. But we played South Warren the first game, so I knew it was going to be tough, because South Warren has a good football team. They're better than they were the last couple of years. I don't know if people realize it, but from their coaching staff, they're better than they've been. So.
And they got Steve Spurrier's grandson as a quarterback, don't they, at South Warren?
They do.
Yeah.
They do have that. Yeah. He does okay. He doesn't look pretty, but he gets it done,
Yeah.
Pass look great, but yeah.
No matter what your record is, though, if you're playing this time of year and you go on the road, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's 11-0 or 5-5, and you go to the road on the road, it's tough.
Yeah.
It is. It's very tough. And Franklin Simpson with the state championship last year, so they've got kids who actually played in that. We have one kid on our team that even played in that playoff game last year. Only one. So they played in 2 now. We got a bunch of them next year that have played in the playoff game. But
that means more than most people think. I'm gonna tell you what.
It does. And I tell our kids, too, people don't realize when you go this far in, you get that extra week or two of practice that somebody else didn't get.
Yep.
And every week you get to work with your kids, they get better and better and better. And if you can do that over a 2 or 3 year period, you'll end up getting 5 or 6, 7, 8 weeks of extra practice on other teams, and it pays off down the line.
And Caldwell County is very evident of that. We've been to the 6 regional finals for the last 6 years, so that helps.
Yes.
Gain experience from your kids, and for the younger ones especially, you get to work with.
Yeah. When I was here before, my last 10 years, we were in the regional finals 9 times, and semi 7, and people just. The extra work we got to do all those years just paid off in leaps and bounds.
Well, and I don't probably need to throw this in either, but the thing about that is all of those kids that you had for that length of time, the ones that played basketball went in and made a big difference in his program too, because when he got them, because they were stronger and ready to play, and and they start talking all this one sport business, people are crazy. That's all I can tell them.
Yeah. I've never been like that. I want our kids to play as many sports
Every
as they
sport.
want.
That's right.
If they're not playing one, then get in the weight room. But if you are, go right ahead. I don't have a problem. And I've always believed in that. I'm not a big, especially we're trying to ask the 5th or 6th or 7th, 8th grader to pick a sport. I mean, you don't even know what their best sport is. They could always get better at something. And I'm just not a big believer in that.
No, well, the years experience are the big thing. I mean, I remember I graduated in May at 137, and when I went to Western,
You're still 137.
I weighed 190. It was one of those deals. I mean, I know in the summer I ate a lot, did things I didn't need to do probably, but we gained a lot of weight. It was my turn. That's why Mayfield is always so big. They were a year ahead of everybody.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because
when I got to Western in August, I just turned 18 in May, and Van Pittman turned 20 in October.
That's right.
It makes a difference as the year's time.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Sure does.
Yeah. I did the same thing. I grew 3 inches, put on 30 pounds from my senior year in the fall to that spring.
Yep.
And it's just because we were all young. College.
Sure.
I was 16 halfway through my senior year, and I was a coach's son. I don't know why Dad didn't hold me back.
He was ready to get rid of you.
Yeah, I think he was. He said, "How fast can I get him?"
Yeah, he could get him a job somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, Craig, we sure do appreciate you taking time out this morning and talk to us about your game tonight against Franklin Simpson, and we want to wish you the best of luck. Keep this train rolling, brother, and. We hope you pull off that win tonight, and I know you're going to be pulling for us here at Caldwell County. We've got David on here. You like to say anything to Coach Barnes?
I was going to tell him good luck. I'm always pulling for my alma mater. I cheer for him every game but ours.
I understand.
I'm still a Caldwell County boy.
Yep.
Good luck to you, Craig.
We appreciate it.
You too, David.
We've been talking to Craig Clayton, the head football coach at Hopkinsville High School. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsor. You're listening to Tiger Sports Talk on 103.3 FM, The Tiger.
The 2018s are here. All 2017s have to go. Every brand we carry, every Chevrolet, GMC, Buick, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram truck has been marked down. 0% financing for 72 months or up to $10,000 off some models. Come by Trice Hughes or call 270-365-5522. You can also shop at tricehughes.com. Why haven't you given Trice a try? It's easy. Call today, 270-365-5522, or stop by for a great deal today. Give Trice a try.
It's that time of year again. Soon leaves will be falling. Football and deer season is right around the corner. When those little critters get stirring around, sometimes our vehicles get in their way. When that happens, Trice Incorporated hopes you remember our body shop to get you back on the road. We offer free estimates, 3-stage paint process that is guaranteed as long as you own your vehicle, and certified technicians that together offer 120 years of combined experience. We keep rental vehicles readily available, so even if your car is out of commission, you don't have to be. Trice Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. New car buyers, listen up. We need to move our new car and truck inventory fast, and we need your trade. At Trice Incorporated, we know the dollar is tight, but there's never been a better time to buy a new vehicle. With fantastic rebates, low rates, awesome trade allowance, and 7 American car lines to choose from, Trice Hughes Incorporated is sure to fit you with the perfect vehicle at a price that's pleasing. And as always, if we don't have what you want on our lot, we'll find it for you. Don't go out of town for a good deal. Stay in town for a great deal. Trice Hughes Incorporated, where your trade is worth more. Trice Hughes in Princeton would like to give a big shout out to one of our own, Jeff McDowell. Jeff has given Trice Hughes 34 years as one of our top service technicians, and General Motors thinks so also, as they selected Jeff in the top 20 service technicians out of over 7,000 in the Southeast region. We are so proud of you, Jeff. The extra time and dedication it takes to achieve this honor speaks volumes about him. Trice Hughes Incorporated offers top-notch service on all your GM and Chrysler vehicles by certified technicians Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Call 270-365-5522 for your appointment today. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
Back here at Tiger Sports Talk at WPKY 103.3 FM, The Tiger with DT and Gator. We just got off the phone with Coach Craig Clayton of the Hopkinsville High Tigers. We have now with us, joining us on the line, Coach Al Starnes of the Crittenden County Rockets. Welcome to the show, Al.
Good morning, buddy. How y'all doing?
We're doing great. About as good as you are. You're doing wonderful. Proud of you.
Yeah, it's exciting over here. I tell you what, Pat. You know, we haven't been in this situation for a while, and the kids are excited. We're getting ready to have a pep rally right now, and you know, they painted the cheerleaders have painted the community blue, and you know, just exciting time over here right now.
They're not worried about test scores today.
They're not worried about what?
Test scores. They're not worried about that today, are they?
No, not today. It's pep rally day. It's blue day today.
Good deal.
Well, it's a wonderful time of the year, especially when you're still playing. And you know, this has been great for Crittenden County. Of course, you know, another common opponent for Caldwell County here. We just got off the phone with Craig at Hopkinsville, and he's still playing. And you take on a Campbellsville team tonight. Are you very familiar with their football team?
Well, only what we've seen on film. They're you know, they beat Russellville 50-26, and they're very athletic. So it's going to be a challenge for us tonight. But you know, the kids have had a great week of practice. And the thing with us is we seem to be improving every week, especially in our mentality and the belief that they can win. And these kids, I'm telling you, I'm proud of them because I think that they've overexceeded what we felt like that they were capable of, and they just continue to get better every time. So, you know, Campbellsville's coming to us. It's a long road trip. You guys know how it is when you have to get on a bus and travel for 3 to 4 hours and then play a ball game. So we're glad that it's on our turf and in our circumstances, and I think the kids are ready.
Well, I'm sure they are. I'll tell you what, from what we see on just clips on the news and all, you got some kids that perform. I mean, they're doing a good job, offensively and defensively.
Yeah, and you know, we feel like that our defense has improved. I know we had that 70-74 game against Ballard, and
I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, we couldn't either. But you know, I mean, it was like a basketball score, and you know, I went in and told them that I'm in a position where I've never been before because I don't know how to coach free throws, and we lost that ball game because we couldn't hit our free throws, and it was just, it is crazy. But you know, we feel like we made some adjustments, and our kids are, you know, our front defense. We changed to a 3-3, and I think that our quickness up front has helped us a lot. And this team runs a spread some, and we feel like that we match up well. Now, when they run the football, they've got some athletes, and you know, they've got one kid that's outstanding.
Well, you can try
to
go ahead.
They have a freshman quarterback. They have a freshman quarterback that throws the ball well. And,
I read about him.
Yeah, and he broke his hand a few weeks ago, his non-throwing hand, and you know, he's got a cast on it, but he came back against Russellville, and you saw what they did against them. So he's very capable of throwing the ball, and they have a great athlete that they throw to, you know, that can go up and catch the ball. So we're going to have to play responsibility, tough defense, and make sure that we cover the things that we're supposed to.
Well, being at home, though, will make a big difference. That means
makes a big difference.
The fans and the players get to, you know, be at home. It's big.
Yeah, it's big, and our fan support has been good, and we just hope that they continue to support us. And again, this is a regional championship. It's us and Caldwell and Hopkinsville and Mayfield. I mean, this part of the area, I mean, that's still in it for regional championships, has a lot for this area.
Sure does. I didn't recognize that last name, Mayfield. Who are they?
Yeah, mate. I'm glad we don't have to face them tonight for a regional championship.
We're kind of thinking that too.
Yeah.
Hey,
so, I mean, go ahead.
I was going to say, Al, how long has it been since Crittenden County's hosted a regional final game?
And I don't know that
you went on the road, right? When you played?
We went on the road.
Probably '86.
Yeah, I don't know the last time that it hadn't been in my career. So in 2008, we had to go on the road, obviously, but Pat. No, I think it was 2008 that we played Mayfield here because we played them here
That's
for the
right.
second time. So we hosted it in 2008.
Okay, and I tell you, Campbellsville's in for a rude awakening when they walk in Rocket Stadium, with those fans. And I guarantee you, the stands will be packed tonight.
And it'll be a good game, good night too.
Yeah.
Real good night
it's
to play.
It's gonna be a nice night. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice night. We throw the ball as well, so it's gonna be a great night to do that. But with our running game the past few weeks, we ran the ball, and so we're able to do both. And we just think it's going to be a great football game, and it's going to be a great atmosphere for it. And our kids are excited to be playing in a regional championship game.
It sure makes it better when the old man can call a play and it works, doesn't it?
Yeah, it works. It works. If it doesn't work, you know how that feels.
Oh,
too.
I do. And then they pat you on the back and say, "Boy, that was a good call." Yeah, it might not even been the right call, but the boys did it for you. That's a good thing.
Yeah, they make you look good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Al, let me ask, did you play Ballard at home?
We play Ballard at home, yes.
Did your man that shoots off them fireworks, did he run out of fireworks that night?
It was close.
Because that boom.
Yeah, he had one more left.
He ran out of bullets. He had to run out of them. I'm telling you, to score that many points. I told
Actually, I think what happened was they had to go to the parts store and get some more at halftime.
I told DT they could probably put both of the basketball teams out there and play a full game and not score that many points.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was amazing, back and forth, and we felt like the last one that got the football was going to win, and we got the ball back with 1:30 to go, and we thought that we were going to win the ball game, but Ballard came up with a stop when they had to, so it was an unbelievable game, and that's what this season has been for me as a coach. It's really been unbelievable because it is our last season, and like I told the kids that this graduating class, I'm graduating with them, and this will be the last time that we could possibly ever play here at Crittenden County, and me as a coach, them as a player. So we're expecting this game and our kids to really play hard and perform and get after them tonight. So it's just been, it's been a great season so far. The kids have just been outstanding, and the good thing is that if it ends tonight, if it ends next week, whenever it is, then at least it ends on our field.
That's exactly right. And it might not end on your field. You never know.
And it might not. Yeah,
That's
it might
right.
not. You just keep on and play every game, and the fortunate thing is that these kids have played well enough that, there's only 8 teams left in it in each class, and we're one of the 8.
That's outstanding.
Coach, I want you to know real quick before I get out of here, we appreciate your friendship all over the years and playing golf with you and back in the Dr. Lacey years and all of those. I'm just telling you, we've enjoyed being around you, and hopefully we'll still continue to do the same.
Yeah, hopefully, and I tell you what, I enjoyed it, and I feel the same way that, it's not just the football, the colleague with the football, it's just the friendship and the relationships that you have, and you guys have been part of that, and I'll cherish that forever, and I appreciate you guys.
Well, we thank you for it, and like you said, for a man to stay in any community 27 years and be a head coach and not have everybody in town just completely mad at you, you've done a great job is all I can tell you.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, buddy. There's people mad, I can tell you that.
Hey,
They'll get over it.
Hey, I want to know, have they unveiled that statue yet? When is that statue coming?
I think the statue is supposed to be of you. I mean, you're
No.
the one who won a state championship
Yeah, but
here.
I wasn't there no 28 years like you have, and I tell you.
It is there. The Rocket.
The
That's
Rocket.
him. That's
And
him.
the Rocket's there.
Hey, you know the Rocket is still there, and I had some friends back in the 80s come down from Scottsville that stayed with me, and they wanted my picture on top of that statue, so I climbed
Did
that
you climbed up there?
on
You
that
did
rocket.
not.
I climbed up on that rocket, and they took a picture of me. Yeah, a couple
Oh,
of my
my
buddies
goodness.
from Allen County. They sure
Well,
did.
that was your
Oh,
nickname,
my-
though, wasn't it?
Rocket J. Sprocket.
Rocket J. Sprocket.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Al,
I'm not agile. I'm not agile like you. I can't climb up there like that.
oh, yeah, you could. I had to have some help, and especially getting down.
It was called a crane.
Al, you've just done a tremendous job, and you know we really hate to see you go. I mean, when we lose coaches like you in West Kentucky that's been here, and you know you're a landmark, and you know we're really going to hate to see you not being on that sidelines in the next several years. But I know you're making that decision, and you're good with it, and you're going to walk off that field no matter what the outcome of that game is, a winner, and that's what we label you as, buddy.
Well, I appreciate it. That's anybody that retires, you want to make sure that you go out the right way, and we feel like that we've had a plan. We're going out when we need to go out. I will be on the sidelines next year. I want to see this group of juniors go through, and I'll do what I can to help them on the sideline, just not as a head coach, but I'll be there supporting them. But I appreciate it, and I tell you what, Crittenden County has been good for us, and we've called it home. We've made it our home, and we're going to miss Crittenden County as well.
And you got a good guy following you, Sean Thompson.
Yeah,
he's going to do a
he's good one.
terrific job, and
Absolutely.
and you tell him we expect him to be on our show next year. He's going to have to
He'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll be there because I'm going to tell him he'll be there.
Well, Coach,
You can come with him.
yeah, you can. We got
I'll
Coach.
come.
Yeah,
Just don't bring Evans this time.
No, I'm not bringing Evans. I'll come with Chris.
Hey,
I'll come with Sean.
hey, Chris isn't going to retire too, is he? Since you are
He said he's not going to do. He said he's not going to do as much as what he did. So
he's still
I
got
don't know what
kids
that
in
means.
school. He can't retire.
I know he can't retire. Absolutely, he's got a tribe. He's still got 3 or 4 in school.
Oh my goodness. Hey, we got Coach Barnes here with you. You like to say anything to Coach?
Hey, Coach Barnes, good luck to you guys. Tell you what, we're proud of you. We're rooting for you, and we're behind you, buddy.
Our guys are rooting for you too, Al. I wish you the best of luck tonight.
Yeah, same to you, guy.
Okay, Coach. We appreciate you once again calling in and taking time to talk to us about tonight's game between Campbellsville, and we wish you the best of luck. We're going to take a short break here and come right back and close up the show here. You're listening to Tiger Sports Talk on 103.3 FM, The Tiger.
The 2018s are here. All 2017s have to go. Every brand we carry, every Chevrolet, GMC, Buick, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram truck has been marked down. 0% financing for 72 months or up to $10,000 off some models. Come by Trice Hughes or call 270-365-5522. You can also shop at tricehughes.com. Why haven't you given Trice a try? It's easy. Call today, 270-365-5522, or stop by for a great deal today. Give Trice a try.
It's that time of year again. Soon leaves will be falling. Football and deer season is right around the corner. When those little critters get stirring around, sometimes our vehicles get in their way. When that happens, Trice Incorporated hopes you remember our body shop to get you back on the road. We offer free estimates, 3-stage paint process that is guaranteed as long as you own your vehicle, and certified technicians that together offer 120 years of combined experience. We keep rental vehicles readily available, so even if your car is out of commission, you don't have to be. Trice Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. New car buyers, listen up. We need to move our new car and truck inventory fast, and we need your trade. At Trice Incorporated, we know the dollar is tight, but there's never been a better time to buy a new vehicle. With fantastic rebates, low rates, awesome trade allowance, and 7 American car lines to choose from, Trice Incorporated is sure to fit you with the perfect vehicle at a price that's pleasing. And as always, if we don't have what you want on our lot, we'll find it for you. Don't go out of town for a good deal. Stay in town for a great deal. Trice Incorporated, where your trade is worth more.
back here at Tiger Sports Talk 103.3 FM. We want to thank our call-in guest this morning, Coach Craig Clayton of the Hopkinsville High Tigers and Coach Al Starnes of the Crittenden County Rockets. And we also want to thank Coach David Barnes for coming in again this morning and talking about tonight's game with the Elizabethtown Panthers. Just a couple mentions here. Basketball season has started here in the Commonwealth and throughout the nation, and I was able to watch Eli Pepper play a little bit the other night against
At Alabama.
at Alabama
And,
on the SEC network, and I saw where that he's reached a milestone there at Lipscomb.
500 rebounds.
500
Yes.
rebounds, and he plays tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, I think, on
They're
the
in Texas.
on the Longhorn Sports Network. And if you're on DirecTV and you got the sports package, you can watch it
I think
there.
you can, yeah.
But for the most part, you can view all of his games on ESPN3. And, if you got Chromecast or whatever, then, you can watch it there.
This day and age, you can about figure out if you want to see something, figure out a way
Right,
to find it. You might not pay for it, but
And I know my son-in-law's team, Northern Kentucky, is over in the Bahamas, and they play this afternoon. Somebody, I don't even know who the team is, but they've got a couple games over in the Bahamas while
not a bad place.
my
to play.
daughter had to stay home and babysit and take care of the kids, and she didn't get to enjoy it. But it's been raining over there from what we understand. Dennis, you got anything else?
Happy birthday, Janie. One more time.
One other thing I want to bring up is I've been meaning to mention this the last few weeks. As you travel down South Jefferson Street and you get ready to come to the viaduct, you see on the right Philip and Pam Phelps' house. And that sign that sits out there, Go Tigers, how many years has that sign been brought out for this time of the year?
With Philip, there's no telling. As long as he's been alive, I guess.
And, you can't help but see it. And, everyone in town, you go by some of the banks, they've got signs out about supporting our high school football team. And, we want to encourage everyone. It's a beautiful day today. We need the fan support. We need to pack the stadium tonight and, fill it up with blue and gold and break this jinx with the Elizabethtown Panthers.
Yep. I don't believe it'll be a jinx tonight. I believe we're going to out-jinx them.
I said it's hard to beat somebody 3 times in a row, and I think they're going to have their work cut out for them. And, you've got 2 teams out there that are pretty evenly matched, and I think it's time for the Tigers to roll.
All right, let them roar.
Let them roar. Tigers roar. Coach Barnes, any closing comments you'd like to make?
I just like to thank these kids that we got playing for us. It's a great group of kids to coach. They're fun to be around, and, they're very deserving of winning a regional championship, and they worked hard enough to do that, and hopefully we'll get it done tonight. And I'd like to thank my coaching staff. I got a great coaching staff. We've been together, all of us, and, in addition to Will this year, and, Jake had played for us. So, it's just been a great year to be a coach at Caldwell County High School.
And I understand y'all had another terrific meal last night at the Majestic House.
I highly recommend the chicken. I highly recommend the roast beef. At the
What about
Majestic.
Earl? Did Earl overeat last night?
Earl had enough chicken to feed 3 or 4 people.
Well, I know you're very appreciative to the people in the community, and they really get behind the Tigers.
When I came here in 2006. You told me, said, you won't believe how this community is. And, I played here, and I remember when I played here, and when we got here, it's just unbelievable what Todd does with the newspaper, how he covers stuff, our radio station, and the people in the community that back us and support us. It's a great place to be.
Let's give a shout-out also to all of our younger players and parents that keep these kids coming. They sit back in the limelight, but they look up at all your seniors and all your juniors, and They observe those guys, and back when I was a kid, I remember observing all those guys, but then when I got to that point, I really didn't think anybody was observing me.
I did.
There we go. We should have cut it off 2 minutes ago. But anyway, I do want to thank all those parents now, because we have a lot of them, Gator and I do, that we coach that have kids in the middle school and the little leagues, and a lot of the little leagues. Those coaches are the ones we coached, and it means a lot. I mean, that's what keeps it going. Those kids are I watched one of the JV games, and when the JV got to play that one night, you know, they did a good job, and they don't get to play much. I mean, you know, to play together, and they did a good job.
You know, it's kind of like the juniors and seniors. Their big night's Friday night, but you know, you got your freshmen and sophomores that really look forward to those Monday night games. And Thursday, do you still play freshmen on Thursday? But Monday night is their big night. So, you know, and that's your building blocks for tomorrow.
And there's nothing worse, too, when they call and tell you they're not coming. You have another team that'll call and say, well, we're going to cancel today. And here your kids have been working.
Parents are disappointed.
Fired up, and then they want to know why. Well, there's nothing you can tell them, but, well, they just called and didn't want to play.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's hard to believe. I think they canceled a Callaway game this year, right? Mm-hmm. And here that school is what, 5A or 6A, and said they didn't have enough kids.
They're 4A, I believe. They're in with
I think what they didn't want was a hind-end kicking what they didn't want.
And then, you know, you got kids that are seniors that can't play JV that don't get a lot of varsity time, like Adam Goodacre, but has never missed a practice, never missed a weight room or something. You know, he just wants to be part of a team. And that's what's great about high school football.
Yeah. And he'll remember as many of these things as the ones that started.
That's right.
When he's my age, he'll remember. He'll have more stories to sit and tell than everybody else. So that's great.
Well, I tell you, we're all very thankful. We got the Thanksgiving season coming up next week, and we've got a lot to be thankful for. And hopefully we're practicing and you're eating turkey together on Thursday night. Somewhere here in the community, and that we're playing next Friday. And I believe if we win tonight, we play the winner of Boyle County and Lexington Catholic.
That's correct.
And it would be here. And from what I understand, Boyle County's got a really good football team.
Yeah, and a very good football coach.
Yeah.
Well, if nothing else, let's get there. I'd like to see them play here.
We'll see. Let them make that trip down
That's
here.
Right.
Several years ago, they took a trip over to Hopkinsville and played Craig when they were winning all those state championships. And, you know, Craig gave them a battle to the end. So let's hope that we're playing next Friday night. That about wraps us up here. We want to thank all of our viewers and listeners for tuning in once again. Join us again next Friday. You heard that, didn't you, Coach? Next Friday for Tiger Sports Talk with DT and Gator.
Trice Hughes in Princeton would like to give a big shout out to one of our own, Jeff McDowell. Jeff has given Trice Hughes 34 years as one of our top service technicians, and General Motors thinks so also, as they selected Jeff in the top 20 service technicians out of over 7,000 in the Southeast region. We are so proud of you, Jeff. The extra time and dedication it takes to achieve this honor speaks volumes about him. Trice Hughes Incorporated offers top-notch service on all your GM and Chrysler vehicles by certified